my duty to announce that we have an executive session prior to our meeting at 6:30 p.m. to discuss personnel and legal issues. Roll call, Mrs. Brodsky.
Mrs. Kozer? Here. Mr. LaCasio?
Here.
Mrs. Mays? Here. Mr. McCommon?
Here.
Mr. Music?
Here.
Mr. Palmer?
Here.
Mrs. Surratt, they're getting. Dr. Zork?
Here.
Mr. Hauser?
Here.
We're just waiting on Mrs. Surratt.
Hi, this is Kathy. Sorry, I'm
You ready to-
I'll wait till she okay.
Superintendent's update, Dr. Tepper.
Sure, I have a very brief report this evening. Welcome, everybody. We're very happy to have our students back in brick and mortar, and the trend is that more of our students continue to return to the brick and mortar setting from the GLSD online. We actually currently have 3,030 students who are participating and attending brick and mortar schooling, and 524 students online through the district, and all is going well. We also welcome the spring weather and hope that it sticks around, and the sunshine. The nice weather also gives that extra opportunity for our students to be outside more and to eat lunch outside as well. Our spring break will be coming up, which it will begin April 1st through the 5th, and it's hard to believe, but our third quarter ends March 26th. So when you think about that, it's just amazing. But all's good, and we look forward to the spring coming. Thank you, Mr. Hauser.
Thank you, Dr. Tepper. At this time, I'd like to open the floor up to hearing of visitors, part 1. This is where anyone has an opportunity to come to the podium, state their name and address, speak of anything that is on the agenda for this evening, and be advised, we limit that to 5 minutes. Seeing no one, solicitors report, Mr. Nichols.
report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Education and planning, Ms. Mays.
Yes, thank you. I will turn it over to Lauren and Emma for the student report this evening.
Hello, everyone. Looking into the elementary schools, parent-teacher conferences are scheduled for March 11th from 5 to 8 p.m. As Dr. Tepper stated, the end of the third quarter is March 26th, and there's a 2-hour late start March 29th. At Bagley, they have been celebrating the Rock and Readathon Week. Students are rocking and reading twice a day, and they're documenting all their reading time, and they have a goal of 50,000 minutes collectively per week. At LAS and Mountain View, they're also celebrating Read Across America Week, and 6th graders and teachers have been making videos of stories to share with the rest of the students, and they participate in Drop Everything and reading time throughout the day. And at the junior high school, spring sports has started. Luke Wilshell and Leo Joseph are traveling to states for wrestling, and parent-teacher conferences are March 11th from 5 to 8 p.m. as well.
For the high school, for sports, spring sports officially started Monday, March 8th. The boys basketball team lost in the quarterfinals against Newcastle, but the girls basketball team won yesterday and will be against Hampton and will be playing Chartiers Valley on Thursday. Vinnie Perry is traveling to compete in states for wrestling. And 4 male swimmers, Gavin Stewart, Julian Zhu, Charlie Craddy, and Colin Spihar broke the 200 freestyle school relay school record. We are planning a socially distanced prom for May 21st from 4 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., which will be held at Zone 28. Zone 28 has bowling, laser tag, and escape rooms, and arcade games, which will be used instead of the traditional dancing at prom in order to socially distance. And also the students seem to greatly appreciate the addition of Wildcat time in the morning, which is from 7:40 to 8:10. Personally, I've had several clubs utilize this time, and it allows those who drive to school to sleep in, And also it allowed me to go get help for my AP research project from a different teacher since our schedule's not online. So everyone seems to like that, and that's all we have.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Mr. Franklin, kindergarten registration time.
Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I have some numbers for you. We currently have 133 kindergartners registered, 35 at Bagley, 53 at LES, and 45 at Mountain View. Compared to last year, we're minus 30 at this same point. Last year, we had 163 registered, and we were in the 50s in each of the buildings, but you know, this year isn't last year. Last year wasn't the year before, obviously, with circumstances. So we are what we are. We continue to put information out, and I appreciate parents knowing that they can still register online at the GLSD. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on your agenda next week will be a resolution to approve the Westmoreland County Student Assistance Program Agreement for the 21-22 school year. And we also will be approving an AMAR Healthcare Medical Staffing Agency Agreement effective February 18th, 2021. Laura gave you a little heads up on that this agency is in the process of changing their name, and that may occur this week, it may not occur this week, so she said if it looks different next week, it's just because of a name change that was already planned. Also on your agenda next week will be to approve an agreement between Laura Chartier, Orientation and Mobility Specialist in Greater Latrobe School District for the 2021 school year, and extended school year services through August 2021. Also a resolution to approve revisions to the 2021 school calendar. Dr. Teffert already talked about that, moving an updated date from April 30th to May 21st to accommodate the change in the prompt. Also, there was an attachment showing the proposed calendar for the 21-22 school year, and that will be on your agenda for approval. So far, we have one tuition student named for next school year, 2021-22, and that will be on your agenda, and any others that may apply between now and then. The curriculum committee meeting will occur next Tuesday, March 16th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. here in this high school library. And that's all I have.
Thank you,
Go
Ms.
ahead,
Banks.
sir.
Mrs. Bates, I do just want to point out, Olivia Carlquist, the tuition student, is the daughter of an employee by contract that's a 2/3 tuition.
Okay, thank you so much.
Finance, treasurer's report, and payment of bills will be on the agenda for your approval. And also there'll be, which I did not know what this stood for, Dan, I'm sorry. Approved Government Accounting Standards Board Statement Number 75, compliance. Like that.
Very good.
All right, next Finance Committee meeting will be Tuesday, April 13th at 5:30 p.m. at the Senior High School Library. Facilities, Operation and Planning, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you, Mr. President. The meeting minutes from our March 4th meeting are attached, and our next meeting will be April 8th, 3:30 at the administration building. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Student Activities and Recreation, Mr. Lucasio.
Yes, the minutes from our last meeting, which was held on March 3rd, are attached, and at this time, we do not have a date for our next meeting. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Lucasio. Community Relations, Mrs. Saraf, I think Mrs. Banks, you're going to do that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Latrobe GLSD Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes approved February 18, 2021 for committee meeting that was held on January 21st. 2021 is an attachment for you to look over. And the next Latrobe GLSD Parks and Recreation Commission meeting will be held on Thursday, March the 18th, 4:30 p.m. at the Latrobe Municipal Building, Council Chambers.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Banks. Westmoreland Intermediate Youth, just go right ahead. How's that?
Next week, we will approve the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit General operating budget for July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. I guess I misspoke. We're going to have that on the agenda for approval. I talked to Mr. Watson. He liked the budget. I like the budget. So I'm recommending it. And again, that will be a resolution next week. Do you want to say anything on that, Mr. Watson?
Nothing other than that I reviewed it today with the Finance Committee members. They were all supportive of it. Just so everybody's aware, our contribution amount is actually going down to $35.42. And they did a very good job of explaining all the changes within the budget, so everybody on the Finance Committee does approve it.
What are you going to do with all that money?
I know, it's like,
Are you excited trying to figure it out? Okay. The next WIU committee meeting will be held Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. And that's to be determined. We've been meeting virtually since this time last year. We're kind of hoping to have an in-person meeting on that date, but I guess it depends on conditions. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Pams. Transportation, Mr. Music.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Transportation Committee meeting minutes of March 3rd are attached to the board's agenda. And that is the entirety of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Music. EWCTC Joint Operating Committee, Mrs. Cozar.
Thank you, Mr. President. Their previous meeting, which was February 24th, the minutes from that meeting are an attachment in your agenda, and the next meeting will be March 24th, yes, at 7 p.m., which is a Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month.
Thank you, Mrs.
At
Cozar.
EWCTC, thank you.
Thank you. Board Policy Liaison, Mrs. Sraff. Dr. Zorch, would you please do that?
Yes, there are multiple policies here. Most of them are just updating words and adding a couple of statements that really don't change the character of the policy that much. There is a first reading of board policies listed, discipline of students with disabilities, behavior support, comprehensive special education, student information, extracurricular activities, interscholastic athletics, and there's a new policy, sudden cardiac arrest. What this is recommending to parents and staff, that we recommend that they ask their doctors if they should do a cardiogram on a student athlete, basically a screening test. Looking for a rather rare condition called prolonged QT interval that can cause sudden cardiac arrest, and also a screening for other conditions that may show up on a cardiogram that could cause a child to be more prone to dropping over dead while they're running or exercising. So that's going to be a new policy. It's really just to inform parents and coaches that this does exist and something we should recommend. There are two policies listed just for review with no changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zorch. Technology, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you, Mr. President. On next week's agenda, the resolution to approve the letter of intent between Westmoreland Intermediate Unit and Beverly Hills School District to enter into a 3-year agreement with Cisco Systems for the purchases of Cisco Secure Endpoint and Cisco DNS effective July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2024. And our next meeting will be February 16th. Our meeting minutes are attached. And from February 16th, our next technology committee meeting is to be adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Superintendent's recommendation, Dr. Tepper.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser. Next week, I'll be asking the board to move on resolutions to approve resignations of Mark Mears, our athletic director, for the purposes of retirement, Mark Schreckenboss, a teacher, for retirement, Beth Lawrence, food service, and Bobby Cavalson, who was a softball assistant coach. We will also be asking for the approval of professional personnel and substitute teachers, Patrick Bradley and Michael Yandra. I ask the board to please move on resolution number 185 this evening to approve the 2020-2021 spring sports coaches and salaries.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion on the floor and second. Questions or comments on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes.
The Senior High Drama Club has started rehearsal for their spring musical, Bright Star. The professionally recorded virtual show dates, which we will have, will be April 23rd through the 25th, and we will be selling tickets. The Drama Club will be selling tickets in order to access the virtual show. As I had already stated, and the girls had stated today for the student council, that our quarter ends Friday, March 26th, with a late start on March 29th, 2 hours for the purpose of grading. And we do have an early dismissal on the 31st of March prior to our spring break, which begins April 1st, and it continues through April 5th. We will be having our board retreat Saturday, April 24th at 8 a.m. here at the Center for Student Creativity. And just a reminder, the statement of financial interests are due May 1st. Board meetings are listed as stated. Our regular school board meeting is Tuesday, March 16th at 7:30. And in the month of April, our committee of the whole meeting, Tuesday, April 13th. And our regular board meeting, Tuesday, April 20th. All meetings held here in the CSC at 7:30 p.m.
Thank you, Dr. Zephyr. At this time, I'd like to open the floor up for hearing of visitors part 2. This is where anyone in the audience can come to the podium, speak of any concerns they may have, state your name, address, and be advised it is 5-minute limit. Seeing no one, I move for adoption of resolution number 186 to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?